Hello, Leon here from backintelligence.com, where we help people manage their back pain from home as well as help them correct their postures. And today we have Dr. David Oliver, who's going to share his favorite core exercise of all, the dead bug, and he's going to show you 3 progressions. Just so you know, research shows that strengthening the core muscles really does help alleviate some of that low back pain. So let's get started right away with Dr. David Oliver.
Hey everybody, Dr. Oliver here, coming to you from backintelligence.com. And today we're going to talk about one of my favorite core exercises, an exercise I teach basically every patient I have that has any form of back pain. It's called dead bug exercise. And there's different progressions we're going to go through. I'm going to show you how to do them safely. Hopefully get you stronger in the core and protect your back and alleviate a lot of those back pain symptoms we have. If you haven't done it yet, I encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just click the button below and you'll get more updates and more videos as we put them out. So we talk about the core. The core is comprised of dozens of muscles. It's not just your abs. Your abs are a very important part of your core, but your core is tons of little tiny muscles that if I named them, you wouldn't even ever heard of them before, but they're really important. And the purpose of your core is basically to be a stable platform to allow your legs and your arms to move. That's really the purpose of it. That's why, in my opinion, doing core exercises, especially initially when you're starting to do core exercise, should involve no movement in your back. That area is designed to be stable. That's why a sit-up is a terrible core exercise. Because why? You're actually flexing through your lumbar spine. So we're going to go through this exercise, and one of the main focuses is on your low back. I want you to really pay attention to what your low back, your spine, and your hips are doing. I don't want them really doing anything. And with these exercises, I tell people it's really important to go slow. We're not doing any bicycles. We're not moving too quick. It's really about honing down the movement, slowing it down, and just controlling it through your midsection and your core. You shouldn't feel it at all in your back. If you do, it's too aggressive and you need to go to an easier version. You should basically just feel your abdominal wall and your deep pelvic muscles being used. So let's go ahead and we'll go through the progressions. We're going to show the first progression, which is just going to be with your legs. Then we're going to do your legs and your arms. And then we're going to add a little bit of resistance by doing some weights. Again, you always start with the easiest version first, and then you progress up as you feel comfortable. So we're going to start with the first progression of the dead bug exercise. So you're going to start laying on your back, knees bent, feet on the floor. The most important thing to get, again, is the position of your spine, your lower back. The way you're going to do that is by tilting and tucking your pelvis. So if you tilt your pelvis forward, you'll increase the curve or space between your back and the floor. If you posterior tilt or tilt your pelvis backwards, you'll flatten your back to the floor. Now, we don't really want to be at either extreme, but we do want to be closer to the floor. The way I tell my patients to check if they're in the right position is take their hand, stick it under their back. Essentially, you should be able to touch your spine and the floor, and that's the perfect little neutral area you want for your spine. You want that little bit of curve, again, not an excessive curve, and you don't want to be crushing the ground either. So we check our back, we find that position, we tuck our pelvis until we can get contact with our hand, and then we want to maintain that position. So how are we going to do that? We're going to brace our abdomen. So you're going to imagine someone's punching you in the stomach. You're going to keep this nice and tight, and you're going to own that position. Because the key is, as we do this exercise, I don't want to feel like I'm moving through here. I want to feel really rock solid and tight here. So we're going to get nice and tight. We're going to lift up one leg. You're going to ideally be 90 degrees at your hip, 90 degrees at your knee, keeping your abs nice and tight. We can lift up to this position. Now, this shouldn't cause you any discomfort, shouldn't cause you any pain, really shouldn't feel much going on at all. What we're going to do, owning and holding this position, is slowly extend our leg and come back. The key is to pay attention to here. As I extend the leg, I want to make sure I'm not moving through my back. I'll show you an example of what would be bad to do. So as I extend here, if I arch and I increase this here, that's going to put a lot of stress and strain into my back. And generally, you're going to feel it and know you're doing it. So again, you're going to own the position by controlling and tightening your core and your abs, slowly extending one leg at a time. Again, we're not doing any bicycles, so I'm not sitting here doing this. So I know a lot of patients, when I ask them to demonstrate it after they've done it for a couple times, they just fly through it because they want to get it done. But again, it's not about that. If you start doing that, you're going to be moving in your hips and your pelvis too much, and it's not going to be what the exercise is for. You really want to lock in this core and extend. If for any reason you feel pain going into this position just to start, you may have to start with one leg down and work on this for a little while so you can build up that core strength. Some people don't have enough strength to maintain this position without their back getting involved. If you get to this position, you're fine, but you extend it all the way out and right there you feel pain, the next time you shouldn't do that. Next time, maybe go halfway. So we do each side about halfway. And again, you're doing slow extensions, and you might have to do that for several days or a week. And then slowly, as you get more comfortable and you get stronger, you can extend that leg all the way out to just above the floor without touching. So that's the first progression, just working on the legs. Generally, what we'll have you do is 5 on each leg, so that's 10 total, 3 sets. But if you get to the second set or into the third set and you start to fatigue or feel your form fall apart, you're done. The goal is 3 sets of 10 without an issue. Once you can do that, move on to the second progression. So now we're just going to add the arms into it. So again, we're getting our back in a nice neutral position. We're tensing our core, tensing our abs. We're going to lift up one leg. We're going to lift up the other leg. Now we're going to get our arms involved. So we're going to have one arm up and the other arm up. So this is why they call it a dead bug, because you're on your back like a dead bug. And you're going to do opposites away. So you're going to do the right arm and left leg. They go away from each other. And we come back and we pause and we do the opposite side. So we're just slowly extending opposites away. Again, being real conscious of our low back, making sure as we go, again, we're not arching up and feeling the strain in our back, because we want to lock this in and maintain good position here. So again, you should feel the anterior abdominal wall, your deep core, pelvic muscles, never your back. If you do, you might not be ready to progress into this, or you might just have to limit the range of motion. So again, you get locked in here, lift up, lift up. You might have to do half strokes initially, just to get comfortable. Now, a lot of people, when they do this second progression, start to get mentally confused because you're moving your opposite arm, opposite leg. It's kind of like rubbing your head, patting your belly. Don't worry. It's important to get over this though, so you got to practice. As you practice, you'll get the pattern down. Because again, your core is designed to allow your arms and your legs to move efficiently. So if you can get your arms and your legs to succinctly move together, you're coordinating it better. So that's much better for your core to be able to control, because if you think about it, when we walk and we run, opposite leg and opposite arm move together. So that's why this is a really good exercise for most people. So again, arms up, legs up, opposites away, making sure you maintain good position. Try not to let things drift like this, but it's okay. If the knee drifts a little bit, that's okay. Just lock it in the midsection. The other thing we didn't mention is you always want to breathe. You don't want to be holding your breath during this exercise, either the first progression or this one. You want to maintain good position and go through the motions. So again, you're going to do 3 sets of 5 on each side, so 3 sets of 10. Once you get to 3 sets of 10 and you're not feeling too taxed, you can add some resistance to it. So ways you can do that are going to be light weights. Okay, so again, these are a couple pounds. You don't need to go really heavy. This 1 or 2 pounds. These are 2-pounders. You can do this and you can hold them in both hands. You can also try using ankle weights if you have them. They work as well. I tell a lot of patients just to put on a pair of their heavier boots or shoes, because that adds a little bit of resistance too. So we'll start it with the arms, with the weights. So you're gonna, again, tense in your core. You always start by doing this before you lift up. And then we're gonna add the arms in. So we're gonna do, again, opposites, away, opposites, away. So we're really just making sure we're not feeling our back, we're feeling our core only, and we're just going through the motion. Again, the goal is to get to 5 on each side, so 10 totals, 1 set, 3 sets. So work through these progressions. Again, if you feel any hint of the back getting involved, tightening up, or getting sore, go back to the easier progression, work on that for a few days, and then progress on. But the easiest modification generally for people with this type of thing is just limit the range of motion. So just don't go as far. So some people I have go halfway. Some people I have to go 25% of the way if they can't do it. So you just control the range of motion that you don't feel your back getting involved or tensing up.
All right, thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure you like it, as well as subscribe to this YouTube channel for more videos just like this. Also, research shows that you need to strengthen your core if you want to alleviate some of that low back pain. And not only that, but you need to make sure that the exercises that you perform really target those deep core muscles, and you need to make sure those exercises are safe for your spine. Now we have a free PDF that we'd love to send you with some of the most effective and safest core exercises that you can do from your home. So if you'd like to get that PDF, there's going to be a link to it somewhere here on the video or down below in the description. Just go to that page, enter your email, and we'll send you that free PDF right away.